All right, so tonight I'm gonna go ahead and finish up the 80s Rewind Unasked For review series. And I'll start by saying we're gonna put some parameters around what we're looking for in the Unasked For review series. Before the end of the video, they're gonna be simple but repeatable. And then, like I said, just my first impression here, just to revisit that again. The packaging is absolutely gorgeous. First Line Shaves did an exceptionally awesome job, absolutely crushing the labeling. So I have it in the EDP. I have it obviously in the soap, in the splash, and in a beard balm. So objectively, the beard balm, we're not talking about scent, we're just talking about the performance of the product here. The performance of the product, this beard balm, is absolutely exceptional. You can see if I get in real close here, the mustache right now, no treatment, nothing like that in it. Just out of the shower. That's kind of what it does on its own. But the beard butter, you see I got all kinds of stuff sticking up here. So the beard butter does a fantastic job of taming all of that, and that's all I really use in this part of my beard here, with the goal of kind of concealing its length slightly. It's only supposed to be a ½ inch for work, so if I make it look neat, it looks a little less long. It does a great job with a little bit of styling. Lasts all day. The scent, you can definitely pick up on the scent later on in the day. So again, we're not going to review necessarily the quality of the scent here. We're just going to talk about the products and how they perform. The soap has performed absolutely admirably. It's lined up with my using of this Amakuni single edge razor from Pass Around from Damn Fine Shaves. So I basically used this almost the whole time. But typically with the with an unasked for review, I'm going to go ahead and look for an opportunity to try different things. So typically I would use different razors as well. It just kind of happened to land with my receiving of that Pass Around razor. I only had it for so long, so I definitely wanted to go ahead and use it as much as I could. So here we are. So tomorrow I will pass on the Pass Around razor from Damn Fine Shaves that Amakuni will go to a fellow by the name of Tom down in North Carolina. Hello, Tom. I don't know if you're watching, but if you are, hello. And your razor will be on its way tomorrow. It'll be mailed to you with the obligatory $300 in insurance. So all good there. But I mean, their razor worked really, really well. But we're here to focus on the Unasked For review series anyway. So we're going to talk about the First Line Shaves. Like I said, you can just see this stuff makes a real thick, real easy lather. Today I went with a little Badger brush, a Beaufort Badger from Simpsons, A.E. Simpson. Absolutely awesome brush, absolutely awesome lather. I mean, that's falling out of the bowl. So I mean, we're talking about, you cannot get, like I said, the peaks and all that in there. I mean, let's see if I'll Dairy Queen that thing. Ooh, not quite forever and ever, but it's a pretty good. I mean, that's all the proof you need that this stuff can lather with the best of them. So there's no doubt about that Riley's really entered the market with all the big players, with all the big houses, with this 3.1 base. It's absolutely a good base, absolutely safe, absolutely protective, fantastic post-shave feel. Really moisturizes your skin, leaves your skin feeling very hydrated and very protected after the shave. I've used the set with a boar, sorry, not a boar, two different Badgers, and 2 different synthetics. So I've lathered a total of 4 times in this series with this soap. I've used every day for 10 days now. 14 days, sorry, for 2 weeks now. I've used every single day. I've used the beard balm and the EDP. So I've got a really good handle on those products and kind of how they interact with me and how they interact with, you know, my beard and all of that. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more water on here. And I do know, like I said, that I can tell you the beard butter is fantastic. I did not get the oil this time through, and the EDP that I got this time through is a little bit smaller. It was a 1 ounce bottle. But again, that doesn't change its performance. It just saves me a couple of bucks. It was all self-funded. So for our first parameter, like I told you, we're going to put some parameters in place. As I said right out of the gate there, the first parameter is going to be the product's usability and functionality. And that was, I said, we're going to go with a 1 to 5 scale. So I'm going to go ahead and say that that's a 5. In terms of usability and functionality, the product itself is absolutely functional, does exactly what it's supposed to do, and does it really, really well. In terms of a shave soap and a splash or a beard balm or an EDP, right on there. I'm going in on this Amakuni with a Feather Pro Guard blade. This is its first use. I mean, I love this razor as well. Like I said, we're not here to talk about the razor. You go try to find me over on Damn Fine Shaves and see if you figure out who I am. If you can, well, then you'll know my feelings on the razor over there. Now, the next parameter we're going to put around is going to be subjective, and it's going to be based on the scent and your preferences with the scent. And for me, when the scent is wet, when you're applying the EDP, applying the beard balm, or the splash or the soap, when it's still wet, there's definitely a musk, I believe, to the scent. It smells exactly like it is described. It's an 80s rewind. It definitely smells like the 80s. It definitely reminds me of a scent from that time period, for sure. There's no doubt about it. So in terms of what Riley was shooting for, absolutely crushed it. Absolutely did exactly what he set out to do. This thing will transport you directly back to the 80s. No doubt about it. So the scent strength and performance are good. I'm going to say the strength is a little bit on the lighter end. A little bit. Yeah, probably more like a 6.5 or a 7. So what I was saying is there's a little bit of a musk maybe, I don't know, there's something that's unfamiliar to me when the scent is wet. Once the scent dries down, whatever that is, is gone. You can't perceive it any longer. Whatever that is, I don't love that. But once the dry down occurs, the scent is quite pleasant. Like I said, definitely is reminiscent of the 80s. Definitely is a little bit of a kind of an older scent. You know, it's not particularly dark, but it's also most certainly not particularly light or bright. You know, it's not like super oody or anything like that. I mean, I've smelled some stuff at Ariana and Evans that was really heavy, and this is not a super heavy scent in that sense. But it definitely does have a darker characteristic to it, a deeper characteristic to it. It's not dark, it's just a little bit deeper characteristic to it. A little bit of a mystery for me. You know, so again, if we're going with a 1 to 5, you know, for the scent strength, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.5. The scent itself, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.5 as well. Is it just for me personally? I don't love the scent. I definitely don't dislike it, and it's definitely not meant to be an indictment at all of the product. It's just this particular scent doesn't really play awesome with me. I tend to like things a little more light. This is a little bit on the heavier end than I usually prefer. And like I said, there's one particular note, and I don't know what it is. So I can't really comment and say, oh, it's this or that. I've talked with like Chris Smith, and you know, Chris says, oh, is it musk? I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. Like I said, it's something I'm entirely unfamiliar with. So I cannot comment on that. But I can tell you that the product has performed flawlessly, and I'm probably going to keep it in the den. I don't think I'm going to sell it or part with it. I do think I'm going to keep it. As again, the scent isn't terrible at all. The scent is fantastic. It's just a scent that I think I'll probably come back to and like more down the road. You know, when I first started wet shaving, I really gravitated heavily toward cologne scents. One of the first kind of wet shaving purchases I ever made was Executive Man from Sterling Soaps, and I then went back with Executive Man and bought the Splash and the lotion, or balm, I guess. That'll tell you if I bought 3 of the products at individual times differently from each other. I'll tell you how much I enjoyed that. That was one of my first wet shaving products, realistically. And it was an Aventus dupe. You know, I think I've really come to understand that my scent preferences go a little bit more towards fougere or something really, really kind of light and cologne. All right, almost done here. Get that brush shaked out, and then I always go ahead and take my brush, grab a towel, just kind of run the brush into the towel after it's nice and dried out, and get that guy splayed out like that. Perfect. You see nothing came out on the towel, just the water. And then just kind of park it back there and let it dry. You know, but the scent, I said, is just slightly darker than that, but again, on the dry down, it is really good on the dry down. The splash is very different than the soap. And the EDP is slightly different than the splash. And it also plays slightly differently in the beard balm. Beard butter, he calls it a beard butter. There's your consistency on that, not that you can really tell, but you know, it's pretty soft. And a little bit granular when you first touch it. But again, it does a really good job with kind of a light styling component, kind of a light styling hold. You know, the products performed flawlessly throughout the 2 weeks that I've used them. There's zero doubt in your confidence with these products, so don't think twice about buying them. You know, they're going to do what they say they're going to do. First Line Shaves is definitely kind of an up-and-coming company, I think. You know, and I think if they keep putting out scents like this, they're really gonna knock it out of the park. I mean, it's unique, it's different. It's not really like anything I've smelled previously on the market, like I said. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit unique. You know, the artwork is fun. They're doing a good job bringing in other people for collaborations on that sort of thing. You can buy it across multiple product lines, which again, I personally like. And that's what I want to do with these reviews, is kind of draw out multiple product lines with the same scent profile. So First Line Shaves really accomplishes that. He's releasing it across all of his products, and they're all available, which is also nice. A lot of times on the websites for the manufacturers, you go on the site, you're looking, and you can't find a splash that matches. You can't find a beard oil or a beard balm or butter or something like that that matches, or you can't find the soap. So he has all of it, and if it's out there, they're all available as far as I can tell. So that's great, and that's something I really like, and I think that's going to serve him really well down the road, is to have the products available across multiple platforms in the same scent profile. I think people are going to like that. I think they do like that. I think it's a proven model. So enjoy. Good job, Riley. Well done. This definitely smells like the 80s. The performance is awesome. Scent strength is good. It's usable. It's manageable for the day. Being like a 3.5 to me is not a bad thing. It's not going to blow people out of the water if you're in an office setting or something like that. It's pretty easy to control the amount of projection you're getting with the scent. So that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing at all. Like I said, it definitely lasts for the day, and definitely is protective of your skin. Great skin feel after the shave. And on the dry down, I really enjoy the scent on the dry down. Like I said, I don't love it before the dry down, but as of the dry down, it's awesome. Once it settles in, it's really wearable and really approachable. And like I said, it is easy to control in a larger setting. So there you go. There's my couple parameters we're going to set out. Usability in terms of performance of the product, and a usability in terms of the scent. And I'm going to try to keep my opinion of the actual scents really out of it, and really focus more on just usability. Our next one coming up, I have an order in with Hoffman shave soaps there. So my next one is going to be next unasked for lifestyle review series is going to be with Hoffman. We're going to do that a little bit different. I got a bar of soap that's going to match the trio that I purchased from him as well. So that'll be another wrinkle to the lifestyle review coming soon. So thank you. I appreciate you tuning in. Have an awesome day. See ya.